Hey, thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. I'm glad you made it today. I wanted to talk to you about the difference between Nexus and Nexus Letter. Okay, so it's two different things. Nexus and Nexus Letter are two different things. Not every claim is going to require a Nexus Letter, but every claim will require a Nexus. Unless it's a presumptive, which then there's still some kind of things on that. So besides presumptive conditions, okay? So again, your claim will require you to have a nexus, but might not require a nexus letter. And so I'm going to dive into that real quick for you, kind of shed a little light on it. Give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. It helps to get the word out to all of us, right? That's what it's about. So I appreciate you hitting that. It takes 2 seconds, doesn't cost you a nickel. Subscribe if you haven't. That's an important one. And I appreciate you. So let's move on. So what happens when you file a claim? And again, look, I do a lot of explaining to kind of set the stage a little bit for understanding for those that don't know. And it's just really important for people to have the stage set, right? So I can jump right into Nexus and Nexus Letter, but it's important to understand the elements of a successful claim and why those things are important or if they're needed, right? So the 3 things in my mind and how I describe it for a successful claim, because let's be honest, right? Doesn't matter if it's not going to be successful, right? So let's make sure that we're doing our part as the veteran to file a claim that has a high success rate, right? So the 3 things in my mind are 1, time and service. That gives us a window of opportunity, right? From start to finish, window of opportunity. Number 2 is a diagnosed condition, right? We're all really good at self-diagnosing. Doesn't mean anything. I actually have to go to a doctor and have them diagnose you for what you already know you have, right? So you may know you have migraines, you may know you have heartburn, you may know you have, some sort of back issue, you may know that you have some sort of a knee, whatever, right? So whatever your condition is, you may know that, whatever. You have high blood pressure, but you never went to the doctor to have them tell you. So you have to get diagnosed by a doctor. Your condition must be chronic in nature or have residual effects, right? It can't just be, I had a cold and it sucked and I'd like to file a compensation for that. They don't care that you had a cold once and now you're better. So it has to be something that's an ongoing or has some sort of problem, right? So that's number 2, is the diagnosed condition that has that's chronic or has residuals. The next one, number 3, is a nexus. You must show that your condition, whatever it is has manifested during your time in service or was caused by your time in service or as the result of some sort of in-service event, something that ties it to your time in service, whether it just showed up during your time in service, whether something happened in your time in service. You have to show a link between, that's the nexus. You have to show the link between the diagnosed condition and that window of opportunity. What's the best way? The best way, nobody tells us about, and it's the I wish I would have knowns, right? Nobody tells us that the best way to establish that is, guess what? While you're actually in service, getting ready to get out, maybe, you decide to go to the doctor and get diagnosed for X, Y, and Z. Simply getting diagnosed during your time in service automatically creates the nexus. Simply by having the date on your, let's say, whatever, just to use something easy. You're diagnosed with migraines. Here's your migraine medication. Here you go. It's all on our records. We have it at the medical office wherever you went, and you have a prescription that has the date on it, and it's within your DD-214 time frame. That's the link. Look, I'm showing you that my condition started during my time in service, right? Or if there was an in-service event that caused some sort of an issue, maybe that in-service event got documented, Humvee rollover or something like that, and now you have a jacked up whatever. That in-service event is documented, you were there, you're listed, you have your statement, whatever. So you have that paperwork, and then now you can move on with your diagnosis from there to show that. So all of those time frames, all of those dates that fall within that window of opportunity, your your military time, creates that nexus. So that's the best way, is to get diagnosed for something while you're in. Now, what happens though, most of us don't do that unless it's an injury, for the most part, right? So then what happens is we get out. Okay, so I've now explained to you what a nexus is, right? So to keep in line with what this video is about, right? So I've explained to you what a nexus is. The next piece here is that we get out and maybe we never got seen. We never got diagnosed. However, we did make some notations on our exit physical health assessment, talking about, you know, some conditions or problems that you may have had while you were in. It's and I keep saying this, I need to find, I wish it was easier to find right now, my actual, all my paperwork when I got out and, you know, hold up that form that has all the check boxes. It's basically, it says something to the effect of, have you now or have you ever experienced X, Y, Z, whatever it is, right? Headaches, heartburn, pain for swollen joints, tuberculosis, diabetes, cancer, whatever, right? Just keeps going on and on. It's a long list. There must be, I don't know, 50 or more different boxes you got to check. Yes, no, not applicable, right? And you go through it all. If you checked yes to any of those, you did that while you were in service. So you're in your window of opportunity. You self-assessment, in a self-assessment fashion, said that you experienced some of these issues. Then typically it's like whatever, maybe an 04, 05 maybe. We'll sign off on the back of it as kind of the health official for that form. And now, although you don't have a diagnosis, you have the complaint of an issue during your time in service, which helps you establish that nexus, because you're showing, hey, my condition. You still need to go get diagnosed, and you may have gotten out and you've been out for 5 years. Now you get diagnosed, but you have that in your file. You have it in your file. So from your personnel records, right? Your medical treatment file, right? Medical service treatment records. Jeez. So you have that there. You get diagnosed after service, but you have that there that you're leaning on for the nexus to show the VA. Hey, look, I complained about it here. I just managed myself. I took a bunch of Motrin, I took aspirin, I went to I drank a bottle of Mylanta, I ate 15,000 Tums a day, whatever it is, right? So now you're still showing your nexus. Now let's say that you get out, these same things are going on with you, you don't get diagnosed until 5 years after you've been out for whatever the condition is, but you know, I've had it ever since I was in. Right? Whatever it is, right? Whether it was an injury or, you got tinnitus ringing in the ears, you were a machine gunner, or you worked on a jet engine, or you were a truck driver, whatever. Something, you got tinnitus, you got headaches, you got, whatever you have. So now this is where, okay, you have nothing in your service treatment records. You have nothing in your medical files or your military files at all that talk about any of these conditions that you want to file for. Okay, well now you're going to have to do the buddy statements, that type of stuff, and I'm sure you've seen videos on that, where the buddy statements are basically people that you served with, or even a spouse, somebody you knew while you were in service for that time frame, that can attest to knowing, hey, I've seen him have bad migraines, or her have bad migraines. I've seen them eat bottles of Tums, whatever it is, during this time frame. So they are helping to establish the nexus in these letters, showing the VA that they know that you had it then. Then what happens is you could back that up with what's called a nexus letter from your doctor. The doctor would then write a letter that simply states, whatever stuff about you and your condition, and that it is at least likely as not, so a 50-50, it's at least likely as not that this condition has manifested during your time in service, or has manifested during your time in service, or was as a result of your service, or whatever the words are. But at least likely as not that it started during your time frame for whatever reasons and with whatever rationale that they can provide. This nexus letter will be used to help establish the nexus with your claim with the VA. So I hope that sheds a little bit of light on the nexus letter versus nexus and what they are and how they function. You're always going to need to provide that nexus unless, again, it's a presumptive condition. There's where you don't. So, but you will need a nexus. Prove that that condition has started during your time in service. You don't always need a nexus letter if you can prove that it started during your time in service. So with that, thanks so much. I appreciate each and every one of you. Have a great one. And remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.